Alright fellas, we've been on the road for 22 hours, 23, something like that, straight. And I've drove like, I don't know, probably 19 of them. And Ali's been sleeping right here. So it's been a long haul. This says we've only been driving for 4 hours, but that's wrong. It's been around 14 hours. So we're about here. We're in between two snails right now in a snail race. So you can see this semi on the right is getting passed by the semi on the left, and our little truck slash semi is now going to pass both these semis. Alright, so we're about ready to cross the Mississippi River, and Grandma D, if you're watching this, I am hitting lock. So I lock all the doors so none of us can fall out into the lake. My grandma was always really worried about us crossing big bridges and falling into the lake, so we'd have to lock the doors all the time. But this is a pretty cool bridge. What do you say, Ali? That's pretty decent lake, I suppose.
A lot of boats.
And there's a lot of boats down there. We're getting close, like 15 miles away. I think we're rolling in, guys. I think this is it. There it is, right there. It's sitting over there. We're gonna go check this thing out. Back to home sweet home. Alright guys, welcome back. I don't know where, my foot, there we go, nice. I don't know where I left off with you guys, whether it was when I went and got the planter. I just don't know. The end result of this planter is it's going to get all new paint. It's going to be completely functioning. And then Porter Ag Solutions in Earlham, Iowa is going to deck this thing out with precision planting. So it'll have what they call V-drive and V-set. So what that does is it electronically monitors all the seed placement throughout these 8-row units. So it's going to help with singulation. It's going to run my population, spacing, all that kind of stuff. And all that is going to be sent through the planter and up to the tractor, and then be ran off of a Gen 3 2020 precision planting monitor. So that's what I'm doing with all that. On top of all that V-set and V-drive, I'm also going to do V-apply HD, which that is going to individually control all the liquid fertilizer going to each row. So that'll be pretty neat. We're going to see how that works for us. Hopefully by putting some starter fertilizer through this, we can see a boost in yield. So there's a couple different ways I could approach this planter. I could go and try to take off all these gauge wheels, disc openers, no-till coulters, and closing wheels. I get all that cleaned off, or I could start up here with all this this vacuum unit and the fertilizer. I'm not sure what I want to do, to be honest with you. Both of this has got to happen. It's really hot. I'm really sunburnt, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But I think my plan is, I don't know, stay tuned. Well, since I'm a lazy crybaby, Gen Z, X, Y, I don't know what generation I am, but basically since we're not very productive and we like to have things simple, I'm going to try to find a way to back this planter into this shop. My dad told me there's absolutely no way it could possibly happen, but that planter is 20 feet. Actually, it's more like 25 feet. And this door is a 10-foot entry door. So there's really no way this is going to work. But you know what? Since I am stubborn, I'm going to try to measure stuff. And I'm going to try to put a planter in here. So, forgot, hydraulic line is blown on this side. That's going to be a slight issue. This might be harder to fit in the shop than I thought it'd be. Because it also has the length that's an issue. But I guess this can split in two. We could always do that. Yeah, there's no way this is gonna fit in the shop, but I'm gonna keep trying. So I'm thinking that the only way I could possibly get this thing in the shop is if I was to lift that marker up, use a skid loader, swing it wide one way, and then pinch it back and swing it the other way. And I know it's definitely not gonna fit. So my next best idea is to just have to work it out on it outside here, which isn't the end of the world. There's nice breeze, but boy, it is hot. So we're gonna grab my impact driver here. These things are nice, they're lightweight, and they got a lot of power. So what we're gonna do is we're going to grab this DeWalt case as well. We're gonna head out there, see what size we need. Then from there, we're going to try and get something figured out. 5/8. Open this bad boy up. 5/8. Right here. 5/8. Oh yeah. Right on the money. Alrighty, well let's get to taking this thing off. Alrighty. I had to upgrade to the big impact because the little one wouldn't do it. See, this one will. Oh yeah, easy. Alright, so I got all the vacuum line over there. It came off extremely easy, but now I need to take these tanks off. So how it's connected is there's a U-bolt here that runs along the bar of the planter. That U-bolt is very rusty. The bolts are corroded on the other side to the point where a socket does not fit on them, metric or SAE. So I'm going to torch those off, let these tanks get to the ground. That way I can get new U-bolts that aren't corroded, that I don't have to worry about for the next 10-15 years as long as I have this planter. So I got the oxyacetylene torch, which just stands for oxygen, and acetylene, which acetylene is a gas that you use to create fire. And I'm going to torch those U-bolts. We're going to take these off here, and that'll be a huge step in order to get this thing painted. From there, it'll be very simple. I can get to that fan easier. I can get to all these row units a lot easier. I can get to wiring, all that good stuff. So let's just get torching here. Well, I got one, 3 to go. So basically I just had to push it back. Then it was able to fall off pretty easy. But look at how bad this stuff is. This stuff is just straight corroded. It would not work for the next year. And a lot of these tubes are dry rotted. As you can see, this one's falling apart. So it has to happen. It has to be done. I have to get them off. But the tanks are still all right. They still hold liquid. So as long as I can keep the tanks, I'll probably put a slap of coat of paint on them. Even though it is a plastic sort of poly, I'm still going to put a coat of paint on it. They'll look a lot better. So let's do it. Instead of trying to get that thing off, I'm just going to go ahead and grab the blowtorch again, and we're going to try to cut it in a different spot down low, and so there's nothing holding it back. As you can see on this one, right now the only thing holding it is this one right here. Well, this one, that was a bad example, but you can tell on this one, the only thing holding it to the toolbar is the pinched U-bolt. So my goal with doing this is that I can somewhat save stuff. Alright, so there's just one tube that runs along the length of the toolbar that needs to come off. It's the way that the fertilizer is loaded into each tank individually is by that one hose that runs all the way the length of the toolbar, and then because of that it can fill up each full tanks at the same time, so you don't have to go from tank to tank. But it is in really bad shape. It's not the best. So I'm going to do this like any professional would. I'm going to do it the right way, least amount of danger. I'm sure the professionals, this is the first tool they look for. Sawzall. It's about a man's favorite tool. So we're going to pop that thing off. It's going to take like 0.4. Never mind. All my Milwaukee batteries are dead. Never mind. I found one of the grease gun. Booyah! I think this one's disconnected as well. Should be. Well, looks like we got something holding it on. Oh, right here we got a hex shaft here that runs this squeeze pump. So everything's got to go to the right in order to get off. Even the squeeze pump looks like it's got to go to the right. So we might have to do some unbolting, get that squeeze pump out of there, and then we'll be sitting pretty. So I've come to the deciding factor that since we are changing all of the functionality of this planter, we have the torch sitting out here, we're just going to torch that hexagon shaft. You bet. Yes, this might be just a little bit overkill for these tanks, but I love running this thing and I'm so glad my dad invested in one of these. So we're going to use it. We got all 4 tanks off, nice and easy. Nothing was too damaged besides, well, that. But look at this thing now. Basically down to all green. So now, this has got to come off. This is what drove the hexagon shaft, which ran the squeeze pump on both sides of the toolbar. So that's got to come off next. Then this thing's going to get a nice bath. We're going to power wash it, get all the dirt and grime off it. Start getting it ready for paint. Oh, dang it. Gavin must have left his pit vipers here. Huh, that's too bad. Well guys, overall this is pretty productive. So we got a little ways ahead of us that we still got to go. So, guys, thanks for watching. Always stay tuned. Hopefully I'm going to be getting more videos of this planter out here soon. But for now, that's all. So, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And don't forget to send a comment. So, alright guys, thanks for watching.